Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever movie review. Today, in our little session, we are going to review the new and the low-key meh Captain Marvel. So, before I get started on my review, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Spoonie for letting me low-key steal his idea of, the general how to display movie on screen without face showing tactic. And even though I didn't ask for his permission, he let me steal it because he's such a giver. Anyways, I hope he doesn't come after me and secretly kill me in my sleep, but as a good Samaritan, I will definitely leave his links and his juicy stuff in the description box below. He is an awesome movie review slash gameplay slash whatever, whatever. Forget him. Anyways, let's move on to the good stuff. So before I get started, again, spoilers, before you guys are screaming at my face or something, I don't know. Disclaimer though, I will definitely be all over the place because I just suck at keeping it linear. So my timeline will be a little bit fucked up, but it's okay. You guys will bear with me, right? I will definitely try my best to stay as linear as possible. So, okay. So I watched this movie yesterday. I pulled up to at least 2 theaters. I tried to get tickets on my phone, and all of the reserved seating tickets were all sold out. So I then had to go to another place that, it's like a regular movie theater where you, Hunger Game your way to finding a good seat for a movie before you freaking sit in the very front and literally cry. But luckily I had good seats. But that was only because I literally went there 45 minutes earlier so I can legit just sit like one of those people trying to get a new iPhone. It was roughly around 10 when the movie actually started. And it's not 10 a.m. by all means. It was 10 p.m. And I was like, I'm kind of done with this. I want food. Let the movie start. So, okay, we're in spoilers now, finally. So when the movie started, they had a scene dedicated to Stan Lee. And I thought that this was really heartwarming, especially because he passed away recently. And I mean, he was still a cameo. He still got a cameo in this movie. It wasn't he didn't, but that was really sweet of Marvel. And I mean, inside I'm clapping, but nobody else clapped. So, I'm like, okay, whatever. Side note though, this was the movie that they explained how Nick Fury lost his eyeball. I will get to that later on, but it's a pretty funny story. So, okay, the movie finally starts after everything, and you see Brie Larson as Captain Marvel waking up. So she's on this Kree planet, and the movie is actually just based on Kree. I didn't read the comics, so I can't hold account. I can only just say whatever's in the movie, but they were on Kree. She was on Kree. I noticed that she had a power inhibitor on her neck. And the only reason why I actually know this fact is because I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Spoiler! So, yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had that same power inhibitor. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, she wakes up and, her memory's all lost. And then she's like, oh, I can't sleep. So she goes find Jude Law, the bro who plays Dumbledore. and they're like acquaintances, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it. It's the beginning of the movie. How the freak out would I know, right? And then she wants to fight with him. And so they fight. And then he's telling her about, like, oh, how she has to keep in her emotions to do stuff. Oh, okay. What does that have to do with anything? In my head, I was like thinking that. And then she's like on this bus, and then she goes to see this supreme intelligence. Now, supreme intelligence is supposed to be like the, I don't know, the leader of the Kree. I seriously do not understand this at this moment. And, the supreme intelligence tells her to go on this mission with her crew. And then so she does, right? And the mission is to save some Kree warrior from this planet that they are having wars with, I'm guessing. And then so she goes with the crew, which means like the bro that she was fighting with. I think it was a young Rog, that's his name, the Dumbledore dude, I don't know. But yeah, and my bae Gemma from Crazy Rich Asians, she was in it. She honestly, the whole time, she reminded me of Widowmaker. And that was that. Just like the whole time, she's like holding a sniper and, trying to look for enemies. And that just reminded me of Overwatch's Widowmaker for like, I was like telling my friend, I was like, that's Widowmaker. So all in all goes well at the beginning, but all of a sudden they were ambushed by their enemy, which was the Skrulls. I don't like the Skrull people who look like elves and they like shapeshifts and stuff. I don't know. But anyways, everybody got away but Brie Larson, and she was captured by the leader of the Skrulls, which was by Talos. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but yeah, whatever. But they tortured her to get her memories. They had this like memory inhibitor to torture her to get her recent memories and stuff, about like this like thing that they're trying to find. And by this time, I'm still confused. I know that this is an origin movie, but it didn't give me the same feeling as other origin movies would have. I mean, I'm telling you, it hasn't even been 20 minutes / 30 minutes in the movie, and I'm confused. I am like completely lost. Now, of course, one of her memories had to like trigger her to like wake up. And, jumping back into the beginning of the movie, she doesn't know who she is. All she knows is that she's a Kree warrior that wants to be the new leader or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyways, okay. She wakes up, she starts fighting these elf squirrel people who shapeshifts. I don't even know. They just look like elves. Okay. And whatever. She won, of course, because she has photon blasting arms or whatever that's what the movie said. Okay, I don't, it literally looks like 2 cannonballs that shoots out lasers or something like that. But and then of course she escapes, she wins and escapes, and the things that they need is on C-35, which is it even the C-35? I was asking my friend at the end of the movie, I was like, was it C-24, C-35? And then she was like, I think it was C-54, but it was Earth. They could have just said Earth. And then she crashes at a Blockbuster. It's in the 90s, I'm guessing. And then, she asks for a phone, and then she contacts, I don't know, this part isn't important, but bom, 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 bom. Freaking, what's it, Agents of Shield had to intervene, of course. And by this time, I think it was like 45 minutes slash an hour through the movie, I thought about peeing, and I shouldn't have think about to go pee, because that's all I could think about for the next 2 hours. And then the Coulson was there. It just got so messy. The movie got so messy. It was like, okay, she now's trying to get like her old memories and trying to find who she is, and then she goes on attacking this grandma that happens to be a Skrull on the train. And then at the same time, Coulson but not Coulson, and Nick Fury was driving and chasing her. It was that scene that everybody sees on the trailer, but that's what happened. And then they said that, oh, Coulson wasn't actually Coulson, because Coulson like radioed in to Fury saying, hey, you left me at Blockbuster. And that's when Nick Fury actually found out that that wasn't Coulson, but that was that. And then I think I just didn't remember this part or something, but like Brie Larson or Captain Marvel, she just kind of disappeared, and then went to like search for her memories by herself. She went to this bar that she was looking for. She like hijacked somebody's motorcycle, which was pretty badass. I want to do that. I can't do that. I can't even ride a bike, but and then she just goes and finds some like this, she's looking for this bar, and then of course Nick Fury has to be in this bar, right? And then they like, it's just, they want to know, because the Skrull people are the bad guys and they phase shift, right? They want to see if Nick Fury wants to know if Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel, and then Captain Marvel wants, like, it's a mutual kind of understanding of, hey, I want to know if that's really you. But they did this thing, and I don't know, I feel like they just did it so messily that I'm like, what is going on? And then of course, both of them were who they are, so they literally just wasted my time. And then she was like, hey, do you know this Air Force? Do you know Air Force Pegasus? I think that's the Air Force that she was originally, in her past memory of her as a human being, that's where she was at, and then of course Nick Fury takes her to the thing, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, they're there. And then she they kind of like get locked up because it's complicated. I don't know. It's just because like, oh, that project was bogus and they want to cover it up, kind of like the usual shazam. And so it's just so kind of confusing, man. And at the same time that they were trapped in this thing, Nick Fury has to like call in his Agents of Shield, and let me tell you, the spoilers again. So the boss was trying to pretend to be an alien and stuff, and so but yeah, that's just, it's so messily done. But that is where the cat introduction of Mr. Kitty, which is Goose, I think that's his name. And then they just kind of went and found the files that she was looking for, and she wanted to find files on what was her name, Wendy Lawson, the doctor who was in her dreams slash memory slash thing. And the Wendy Lawson also was her supreme intelligence being. I don't know, it's like each being is different for each person, but that was hers. And yeah, and then it turns out that, oh, she was actually working on this thing to save like the war between the Kree and the Skrulls, or like some kind of war. And it's just I'm so confused at this point still. This thing that she was actually working on was some kind of energy source that was trying to save people. I don't know. But, you know, at the same time that this is happening, Captain Marvel's is actually still, she's like talking with her crew. You know, she's talking with like Widowmaker and freaking Dumbledore, was it? In a freaking plot twist, motherfucker. The Dumbledore was freaking working for Ronan. Remember that dude? Freaking Ronan is also in this movie, and I don't know why he's in this movie. He's just this big Kree blue dude who I don't like he has absolutely no purpose to be in this movie, in my opinion. And I don't know why that he was in this movie. But anyways, so yeah, she found her files, and then she saw this picture, and it was her, right? And then she goes looking for her best friend, because that's how people do it, right? And then some other stuff happens where there's like a bunch of high fighting scenes and a bunch of like other scenes, and then so the little girl, the baby girl, which was her best friend's daughter, came up to her and hugged her and stuff, and that was memorable. That was cute. Like, honestly, that was all I remembered. And then so by this time, you know, we kind of figured out that, oh, the Skrull people are actually innocent people, and they actually want to seek refuge at a planet. And, you know, so like she just, Captain Marvel didn't know about this, and she felt like she was being tricked. And then it was just like, it's just so kind of like, it's so unmemorable. That's the one main reason and like main complaint that I have for this movie. It doesn't compare to other movies, right? Other Marvel origin movies, they know how to punch you in the face, and they know how to capture your attention. And, you know, it's I feel like this is a really big problem for Marvel now that, you know, Avengers Endgame's coming out, that every single movie before a big movie that they're making are all fillers. They're all basically fillers. And like, I get it. Marvel doesn't want to introduce like a character randomly, and that's why they want to make a new character to like, you know, like, hey, like, here's some background information about her so you won't feel lost. Like, I get that, and like, I totally understand that, but honestly, it like, you kind of think about it and you're like, is it worth my like 2 hours and freaking fighting over seats to watch this movie potentially? But anyways, you know, like, at the end of the movie, it was a happy ever after kind of deal where, you know, she unlocks her powers, and she takes off that inhibitor, and she saves the world and saves the Skrull people. And, you know, honestly, like, everything before that, it's not even important anymore. Like, she's so powerful now, right? And she blasted Dumbledore away, and then she found out that the energy source that they were finding, like, was within her from that blast of that airplane that she shot down, and it was actually the freaking Dumbledore who killed the Professor Lawson Huchachi lady. And honestly, like, she finds out the truth, and then she finds out that the Kree people have been lying to her. And again, Ronan, no use, absolutely no use. Like, literally, they were fighting, and then like Ronin's ship came to Earth, you know, blasted a few nuclear alien bombs towards Earth, and then like Captain Marvel stopped it, and then after that Ronin literally just kind of like his dick shrunk and like flew away, you know. It was kind of like, oh shit, she's powerful, okay, never mind, I'll just come back. Like, that's just like, honestly, why introduce Ronin when he literally has nothing to do with this movie, you know? Like, that pisses me off. But anyways, so the energy source turned out to be the Tesseract, and the cat that wasn't a cat, that is a cat, ate it. And funny story, that's how Nick Fury lost his eye, because he got scratched by not kitty. But yeah, that's all that was actually important / I remembered from the movie. Now again, like, this movie didn't give me the punch that a lot of origin Marvel movies gave me. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed, but, you know, I actually searched up the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes before and after, and it was around like the high 70s, low 70s. I don't know, it's range of 70s, man. And sometimes, like, I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes have to say, and I'll still watch the movie because, you know, like, ratings are not true. You know, some low movies I actually personally really enjoy, but like this time I actually have to agree with it, because I didn't get that same feel. And again, like I was saying beforehand, like, I feel like Marvel literally treated this movie as like a filler movie, and like I felt like the only reason why I actually went was because of the post-credit scenes that foreshadows Endgame, and not really focused on Captain Marvel itself. And like, honestly, I really felt like they could have made it a lot better. But you know, some people might disagree with me. I don't give a shit. But as a person who never read the comics, can only based off of like the TV and movie Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of shit, I don't know, like I didn't enjoy Captain Marvel as I hoped I would, and that's kind of disappointed, right? Was it worth it? I feel like it is if you're a crazy Marvel fan, and if you go based off of like comics, and then you want to see your character or your hero become reality, like go on and watch it. But if you're not a fan, I say might as well just watch it when it comes out for free on the third web party thingy, like how I do, because I'm a bad person. Other than that, graphics, CGIs, the graphics were okay. You know, it felt like more, you know, it just felt like graphic movies. But the CGI on the cat especially, you can tell it was a fake cat. Like, you could tell they used a cat, but then like some scenes where they go into space and the cat is like free floating, you could severely tell that it was CGI'd. And the judging aspect of woman / male superiority type of thing, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty typical. Like, she was really stubborn, and freaking Dumbledore was like a liar and stuff. That kind of, it gets old, it really gets old. Cringe moments, well, yeah, a little bit, few of them, especially at the one of like the ending scenes where Dumbledore was like, beat me without your powers, holding your emotions, and then once you beat me, you will rise, my child. You will rise and you will become the superior being that you've always wanted to be. And then Captain Marvel literally just like photon guns in and then sends him off back to Kree with nothing. But yeah, there are definitely a bunch of like cute moments where Mr. Skrull guy reunited with his family, and the best friend reunited with each other, you know, Captain Marvel and I don't know her name, Maria. that's her name, reunited with each other, and that's about it, man. And like there are Coulson funny moments and Nick Fury funny moments because they're like basically the face of Marvel. But yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like it's such like a sine squiggly line wave like throughout the whole movie that I just couldn't grasp it all in time, and I couldn't enjoy it. There was no like climactic scenes, and I could say that there were some plot twists that you can definitely count on, but other than that, you're kind of just like sitting in the movie a little bit confused, a little bit disappointed, a lot wanting to pee, a lot thirsty, I don't know how to rate this movie because it just hurts me so much to like say that it's like it's like I want to give it like a 7 out of 10, but at the same time I want to give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It's like it's not that horrible where it's like it gives you a cliffhanger like freaking Alita. But yeah, going back, it was really because I honestly feel like Captain Marvel's just another filler before, Avengers, kind of like Thor before Avengers Infinity War, It just kind of leads up to the next movie, and that's about it. Like, again, the only thing that you're actually watching are the post-credit scenes, because those are the only important scenes that we want to see, right? And I feel so bad for saying this, but Captain Marvel is literally just a meh. Like, it could go so well, but I don't know what happened. Like, it's just, it angers you in a way. You want it to do well so badly because you're just kind of like, oh, hey, it's another Marvel movie. I don't want to say it is on the same level as Venom, but I mean, Venom is like whatever, but I didn't even watch Venom. That's how much like people say it sucked. Honestly, that's all I have to say. Like, should you watch it? Like, do it if you're bored and you have money to spend. If you have other things better to do, I say just like watch it in about a month when things comes out. But if you're really a Marvel fan and you want to know what happens in the post-credit scenes, like, you actually don't really need to know Captain Marvel's story to know, like, to watch Endgame, right? I don't know, like, that I'm a crazy person, and I wanted to watch this. After everything I went through, I thought it was gonna give me a better time. I thought I was gonna like cry afterwards or something like that, but it kind of didn't.